The rhythm of soul.
Right now we are. Right now.
We did this on America's Got Talent.
You want to check? You have the Wi-Fi? You have the Wi-Fi? Tell me.
And it's whatever track is coming next. From our album, it's Love is Where You Go, Love is What You Do.
I think you might have to hold it.
other way.
It won't what? Oh, it won't switch. That's weird.
Oh,
You gonna hold it?
I do, but I want you to hold it steady though.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. Let's see.
Even sit maybe.
Yeah. She took the best spot. How far can I go out?
Probably be like,
Right there. She's gonna have to move her stuff. I'll tell her.
we go around. Just wondering.
We'll be right there. Thank you for explaining. And yes, we are a family. And this is real hair.
Yes. So you don't have to keep going up those Aspens down.
Okay, everyone, now put your hand for our musical guests. A great performance. Welcome to the grand opening of the subway. I'd like to ask everyone who is not already in a seat to please find a seat. And if you're standing, if you can see me waving, if you're standing on this side of the station, please head back to the entrance to the seating area. It's back in turnstiles. We're going to try to keep this station open for Muni customers who want to get down to the trains, because we have trains running all day today. Alright, we'll be getting started in just a minute, so let's all please find a seat or a spot in the standing room only section.
If possible to thank you. Sorry about that. It's all good. Take it.
folks, just find a seat and sit tight for a minute. Our speakers are just around the corner. They'll be here in a moment, and we'll get the program started. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, welcome. To introduce our program today, I am honored to introduce Greg Castro of the Saline and Ohlone people, who has worked to preserve his heritage for over 3 decades. He is the culture director of the Association of the Ramaytush Ohlone, the people indigenous to the San Francisco Peninsula. Mr. Castro, welcome.
Greetings to everyone. Welcome to the Ramaytush homeland. This area we called for thousands of years Yelamo. It's a little bit different now, especially where we're sitting. But it is still our homeland. We are still here. We are still dedicated to taking care of the land and the people on it in partnership with the representatives of the people that live here now. So welcome to Nancy Pelosi and Bree. And it's a little intimidating to follow the Curtis family singers who just took us to church. Hallelujah. But it is traditional for us to do a prayer, and for us, prayer is often a song. And so I'm going to sing, I think, something that's appropriate for the beginning of the subway system here, a good luck song. The song is from our Rumson cousins down in Monterey Bay. The sad history of what Ramaytush people is that their culture was taken away from them. Even though they managed to survive, we're still reviving our own culture. Anytime we borrow from our cousins and relatives from other parts of indigenous California. And so so this is a song that my cousin taught me that's used for good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg, for honoring this occasion with song. It is now my honor to introduce Mayor London, under whose leadership the city has been able to deliver phases 1 and 2 of the Erie Rapid Project, the Van Ness Busway, and now, finally, the full T3 line into the Central Subway, Mayor London Free.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you everyone joining us here today. I just want to thank Greg Castro for blessing this space, and my hope is that this is a transformative space for so many people who will be using it for generations to come. I want to thank the Keynotes for the amazing gift of song to all of us to just celebrate an incredible milestone here in San Francisco. One that's a long, extensive history. And I know we have a number of speakers today, but I do want to touch upon a little bit of that history to provide some level of perspective. Back in 1989, we know that the famous Loma Prieta earthquake created real challenges for San Francisco. But it also created some extraordinary opportunities. We saw our city go from devastation to transformation. When we talk about the resilience of San Francisco, we only point to so many of those examples where we experienced challenges, and out of those challenges, some extraordinary opportunities. Octavia Boulevard, the freeway came down, and it became a more connected Hayes Valley community. We saw the freeway come down at Embarcadero, but as a result of the decisions that were made, the folks in Chinatown were not very happy with the impacts on the community. People like Rose Pack, who led the charge to confront the city and expect the city to do better to ensure that visitors, that people who came to Chinatown, especially the increasing Chinese population in the southeast sector of San Francisco, that they had a vehicle which they could travel to this particular destination was very important to this community. And so even though it created an extraordinary opportunity, it challenged our city like never before in terms of equity and access to public transit systems to ensure that neighborhoods like Visitation Valley and Sunnydale and Bayview Hunters Point and other communities had a system that worked more efficiently for people to travel throughout San Francisco. And former mayors like Willie Brown and Ed Lee, they led the charge. They were instrumental in the T3 lines and in the Central Subway and in the Bay Area Rapid Transit, and providing these opportunities for not just these new systems of transportation in our city, but the job opportunities. In fact, this project alone developed almost 40,000 new jobs that were created over the creation of this project. So today we're here to celebrate an extraordinary milestone. So many people, so many folks who were instrumental in providing this opportunity for the subway. But let me tell you, it takes community, it takes vision, it takes hands and work and so many many layers to get here. All the workers, all the construction workers, the project managers, the operators, the people of SFMTA, present and previous leaders, the County Transportation Authority, the Board of Supervisors. So many layers to make this happen on a state, federal, and local level. But I must say, there is absolutely no way that we would be here today, that a project of this magnitude would have been able to happen were it not for the extraordinary leadership of our Speaker, Nancy Pelosi. Than Speaker Pelosi. Because of her leadership, this project received $1 billion, more than half of what it took to get it completed. This was a very expensive project, $1.9 billion, and she single-handedly was instrumental in ensuring that we got $1 billion from the federal government to see it to this point. So, Madam Speaker, I know you have a new title, but you're always going to be Madam Speaker to us. We love you, we appreciate you, because it's not just the big projects like Central Subway, it's the community center, it's the roads, it's all of the things that make such an extraordinary difference. She constantly fights for us and constantly delivers for us. And this is such a tremendous testament to your work, your deeds over the years, and your legacy. So thank you so much, Madam Speaker Nancy Pelosi. And I can't be more proud. I spoke to Mayor Art Agnes this morning. I spoke to Mayor Willie Brown this morning and just talked to them a little bit about the history and the work. And they wanted to make sure that I didn't take all the credit for delivering this project, because usually mayors won't acknowledge previous mayors. But I will say that it does take really strong leadership, it does take persistence, and it takes people with vision. And so I do want to thank those mayors and thank the Board of Supervisors and others who have been instrumental in helping to focus on transit. And I want to really call out Senator Scott Weiner, a tremendous transit advocate, for not only delivering on the dollars here at the local level, but at the state level as well. When I think about what this project is going to do, can you imagine 4 new stations? Taking someone as far as Chinatown all the way to Sunnydale, not the city Sunnydale, to Sunnydale, to Vacation Valley and Sunnydale. Taking people from work, people who are going to take Muni from different parts of the city to enjoy a game at Chase Center, at Oracle Park, people who are going to have an opportunity to use transit in a more efficient way like never before. This is really what happens when you only see something like this once in a lifetime. Something this transformative. Yes, it costs a lot of money. Yes, it takes hundreds of meetings of community input. Yes, it takes a lot of dollars to be raised on so many levels. And yes, a few hiccups along the way. But you know what? Delays don't mean denials. And here we are, after a challenging couple of years, delivering for the people of San Francisco. When I think about my good friend, I call her my grandmother because she treats me like her granddaughter, Miss Wong. And Miss Wong, who lives in Soma. Miss Wong spends so much time on the 30 Stockton, going from her area of the Soma all the way to Chinatown. Then she's on the T3, headed down to Visitation Valley. She covers a lot of ground in San Francisco because she's very active. And now the fact that she'll have one line where she can go at any given time to any part of the neighborhoods that she frequents, it just fills my heart with so much joy. What this project is going to do for so many people who rely on our public transportation system, and so many people who want to be a part of our public transportation system as we see new neighborhoods created. Mission Bay coming live with thousands of new people, as we see the Dog Patch, which has been highlighted as one of the most hippest, best neighborhoods anywhere in the world. As we see all these new neighborhoods in San Francisco Francisco transformed like never before. We have a state-of-the-art transportation system that is going to take us into the future, and I can't be more excited and proud to be here to celebrate with you here today. And I know that we should be focused on the Central Subway and the 4 new stations at Moscone, 4th and Brandon, at Chinatown, Rose Park Station, right here at Market and Union Square. But I am holding out hope, Madam Speaker, for one more station. For one more station, take us all the way to Fisherman's Wharf. I'm holding out. Because if anybody can do it, San Francisco can do it. We are proof positive with this project of what we can do when we put ourselves together. We should be proud. We should take this moment to enjoy ourselves. Thank you everyone for the roles that you played. It took a village to get it done. The village is here today and others who can't be here. Thank you for delivering this incredible project for the city and county of San Francisco.
And next up, I would like to introduce State Senator Scott Weiner. Well, it's always follow the mayor. So I'm so excited today. I'm excited as a state senator. I'm excited as a former chair of our county transportation authority and former MTC commissioner. But I am most excited as a 25-year rider of Muni. And for many, yes, let's hear it for riding Muni. And like many Muni riders, I sometimes describe Muni as my frenemy. It's my friend that gets me where I'm going, and we all have those moments where we're ripping our hair out because it's not working as well. And I am so optimistic about what's happening with Muni. When we look at Van Ness BRT and actually being able to get 49 and quickly and immediately get all the way up Van Ness, we're being able to hop on the 14 Mission and because of those red lanes quickly get down Mission Street. And now this morning I hopped on at Castro Street, my Mission, and took it down to Pal and had a really short walk to the Central Subway station. And that just warmed my heart and it makes me so optimistic for the future of San Francisco and for the future of public transportation in San Francisco. Because we know that we need our transit systems to work for our city and for our region. This region is only going to succeed if people are able to get around easily. If people are able to get within San Francisco, back and forth to the East Bay, down to the South Bay, we don't have a choice. We have to make it work. And this is going to help make it work. The Central Subway is going to be a new spine right in the middle of our public transportation system, and that is why I am so excited about today. I will say that this is great. This is such a fantastic day, but this can't be the end. And we have to recommit at the federal level, the state level, locally, to supporting our transit systems. Not just the capital, but the operations too, and making sure that we always have We're about to have a little hiccup at the federal level, and it's so fantastic that we have all this money coming to the federal infrastructure law. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for making sure that happens. The next couple of years might be a little rough, but I know it's going to be positive after that. So here's to a great future for transit. Congratulations, everyone.
And next up, we have State Assembly Member and Budget Chair Phil Ting.
It's so exciting to be here. I think we heard from our mayor, our state senator, our speaker talk, but this is just an amazing moment. It just demonstrates that if the city can put its mind to something, we can achieve anything that we absolutely want. But again, I think the mayor put it well. This was 30 years in the making. This is all about all the past leaders who have the foresight to know that we actually had to invest in our transportation infrastructure. We had to invest in our city, that the only way for our city to grow is through transit. We're a city that is amazing. We're welcoming people into downtown. We're welcoming people in our neighborhoods. We continue to grow. But the only way that we are going to have and guarantee the economic vitality for our city is if we can expand our public transportation. This investment, I think back about the state investment that started in 2000, 2002, about $600 million in state investment started. But that was for many elected officials many years ago. And so for us, this last year in our budget, we made sure that we did a future investment for transportation, almost $11 billion for public transportation for projects, not just in San Francisco, but all over the state, because we know that this is the key for our state to keep growing, for our state to keep thriving, for our state to make sure that our economy can grow. We're now the 4th largest economy in the entire world, so it's 3 countries larger than our economy. And yet, at some times, we still have such major issues that we face. And today is a day of celebration, but we cannot forget the future. This is about investment, and this is critical investment in transportation. It's a critical investment for our future, and it's a critical investment for our economy. So thanks for getting this done.
And now we have former District Supervisor and current City Attorney, David Chu.
Good morning, San Francisco. Who is excited about the Central Subway? I'm going to ask Jeff to come back for a quick second to just showcase what he is wearing. If everyone can take a look at this. And I want everyone to know that I told Jeff that on Monday I'm going to ask my deputies to craft a charter amendment to require any department who has a multi-year project to wear a schematic of the project on their butt until the project is done. Thank you, Jeff. So each of us were asked to speak for 2 minutes about a theme. The theme I have been asked to talk about is the theme of endurance. The endurance of thousands of San Franciscans who have waited for the densest neighborhoods in the West Coast to finally be connected by the Central Subway. The endurance of small business owners and merchants here in Union Square, in Chinatown, and North Beach who've endured this project. The endurance of the SFMTA, city staff, architects, engineers, builders, labor, and of course policymakers, our mayors. Mayor Breed, thank you. I want to relay a message from Governor Newsom. A number of us were with us yesterday. He specifically wanted me to say how disappointed he was that he could not be here today. And of course the endurance of someone who I believe is truly a bionic woman, the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. Thank you very much. As a Chinese elected official, though, I want to also thank the endurance of Chinatown. The endurance of thousands of residents, of tenants, of SRO families who came to hearing after hearing for 30 years. I've only been involved in the project for 10 years. When I served on the Central Subway Citizen Advisory Committee and carried the approvals at the Board of Supervisors for this great project to move forward, it took the vote of everyone in this room and thousands of folks beyond, including lawyers in my office and thousands of hours of legal work. So with that, one final thought was, I'm a resident of the Bayview. I come often to Chinatown. I'm going to be bringing my 6-year-old son on that ride from the Bayview to Chinatown. I look forward to seeing all of you on this as we share the story about how generations before made it possible for generations after. Happy Central Subway. Thank you very much.
Next up, District 8 Supervisor and Chair of the San Francisco County Transportation Authority, Robin Adler.
Hello, everybody. You know who didn't take 15 ballots to get herself elected speaker and didn't have to degrade the office and humiliate herself along the way? I digress, but you know. Anyway. I'm Rob Mandelman. I am the chair of the County Transportation Authority, in addition to being the District 8 Supervisor, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about our sales tax and about the art. You like sales taxes? You like art? I want to acknowledge our phenomenal Executive Director, Tilly Chang, who is here, TA, Director Chang, our Vice Chair, Aaron Eskin, and District 3 Supervisor. important transformative projects in our city's housing sales tax program. Creating a direct ride as you from Chinatown to the Bayview via 3rd Street light rail. And the TA was a key partner from the beginning, identifying this line in our 1994 Four Corridors plan and providing more than $500 million in sales tax and other TA funds, or about 20% full investment, and that in turn, of course, leveraged the money that Speaker Pelosi was able to get us from the federal level, and that Senator Weiner was able to get us at the state level, and thanks to everyone. And here we are, and I want to thank the voters, and I want to thank Speaker Pelosi again for the role that she played in helping us get that transportation half-cent sales tax passed back in November. People said it couldn't be done, and we got it done. We got it over the finish line thanks to everyone who helped us. That's generating $100 a year in funding for transportation investments like this. Thank you, Madam Mayor, for your help as well, and everyone here who worked on it. On behalf of the Transportation Authority, I want to extend our tremendous congratulations to the entire SFMTA organization and the Chinatown community. Malcolm Young, I want to acknowledge Reverend Norman Fong, my constituent and the former head of CCDC, as well as Mayor Bree and past and present members of the MTA board, including Whitney Borden, who's here, and Steve Heminger is here. They deserve applause too. Thank you for your work. And now that's the sales tax piece and acknowledging these. And now I'm going to talk about the public art. Made possible through San Francisco's 2% for the Arts program that places public art in publicly funded capital projects. Through this program, the city has commissioned 10 works of art by 12 artists at 4 stations. Crews have installed 8 of them, with the final 2 to be installed later this year. And I want to thank some incredible, talented artists, Tomi Arai, Yumi Kapu, Claire Ropas, the artist team of Human and Starker, Jim Campbell and Werner Klotz, Urban Rettel, Roxy Payne, Leslie Shows, Wagner, and Mojo Otaki. Let's give it up for the artists. And of course, I want to thank the indispensable work of our San Francisco Arts Committee and their staff. And now I am introducing to sing, right? Okay, I'm doing it. These stations are indeed beautiful, but the third isn't just about the 4 new rail stations. It's about connecting communities throughout San Francisco, from Chinatown to Bayview and beyond, which is why I am excited to introduce to sing Parker, the Senior Executive Director at the Bayview Hunters Point YMCA. To sing has dedicated her career to supporting youth, families, and communities in the Bayview Hunters Point neighborhood. Now I'm going to get off the stage and introduce to sing.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, you can do better than that. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes. As mentioned, my name is Tsing Parker, and I'm the Executive Director of the Bayview Hunters Point YMCA. And I am truly excited about this station and the opportunities that the T-Train connecting our communities will provide to our youth and families. You know, in many ways, the Central Subway Station really acts as a launching pad for us to be able to connect our communities and for families to be able to find and actually see each other with their own eyes. You know, being at the Bayview YMCA and like many other community-based organizations here in San Francisco, our work is all about strengthening community. We want to ensure that our families, that our youth, and our adults have access to the resources and the services they need to thrive in the city. And we also want to ensure that they have opportunities to experience the enrichment that happens in these communities. And the Central Subway Station is going to make way for us to do that. Literally, it is a pathway to connect our families. And this means that in District 10, our children will be able to hop on the T-Train without taking 2 or 3 hours to Chinatown and be able to see the richness of that community. It means families from Chinatown will be able to come to District 10 and explore some of the outdoor and nature engagement opportunities that we currently have and that are on the horizon. So I, as a San Franciscan and someone who has worked in the city many, many years, am excited about what is to come from the Central Station, and I'm looking forward to getting on the train myself and getting to and from this city. Thank you very much. And at this time, okay, thank you.
This project would would not have been possible without our partnership with the federal government. And so now I am honored to introduce from the Federal Transit Administration, Deputy Administrator Veronica.
Good afternoon. Transit openings are a big deal, and what an honor to be here with our speaker, Madam Speaker Pelosi, with our mayor, London Breed, with Jeff Tumlin and his staff, and Senator Weiner. We are delighted to be a federal partner in this project. Jeff, you and your team at SFMTA did yeoman's work to complete this project during a pandemic and with supply chain issues, not an easy task. Certainly, I would like to recognize our FTA regional staff. As we have heard, this sort of project, these sorts of openings take years and years of dedicated attention and energy. And our staff in Region 9 here, based in San Francisco, Ray Tellis and Yi-Cheng Chen, our regional and deputy regional administrators, have supported with technical assistance, guidance, energy, effort, and
physical gate on Grant Bush, just a couple blocks from here. The second gate is Portsmouth Square with the garage. But now, finally, we have our transit gateway at Chinatown Rose Pack Station, and that is a really, really big deal. As many folks have mentioned, the newest gateway is a connector between San Francisco communities from the Sunnydale and this Valley Bayview to the pigs in Chinatown. And I really, really appreciate the stories from Toussaint and from the mayor highlighting the human impact that the subway is going to have, because it's connecting communities, but it's connecting families and people most of all. And I think we have none of that, so thank you so much. It's also a connector for visitors and tourists, and I just want to put a gratuitous plug in because I know we have Mr. Larry Baer and Brandon Schneider. I'm hoping that this can be a connector for folks who are hungry and thirsty for games, grab dim sum, maybe a drink or two in Chinatown, and hop the train down to Oracle and Chase, and feeling happy from that point on and putting the game from that perspective. So we'd love to work with you guys on some of that kind of stuff too. But also to Senator Weiner's point, the subway is a connector to a greener and more sustainable future. We all need to be getting out of cars and taking the train to Chinatown, and now we finally can actually. So that's amazing. It took more than a village to get here. 7 mayors, including champions like Mayor Willie Brown, Mayor Ed Lee, and now the mayor who's brought it home, London Breed. 3 district supervisors, Aaron twice. That's kind of nice. And of course, City Attorney David, who brought this project through so many different approvals. Frankly, Jeff, too many MTA directors to count. But Jeff, we are here, and you led the MTA team to the finish line, so that's amazing. And I'm glad you ran that seat. Numerous FTA directors, including Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who kind of kicked this party off with Speaker Pelosi in November. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Secretary Norm Mineta, who was really the person who brought the FFGA to the finish line. That was a really, really big deal. Through it all, there was only one congressional representative throughout this entire period leading that village. And I have in that notes Representative Nancy Pelosi, but if the mayor wants us to call her Speaker, we're calling her Speaker Nancy Pelosi. I'm incredibly grateful to our neighborhood allies in Union Square, Marissa. We're bringing it home finally. I love your station. I love ours more, so sorry to say that. Our neighbors in North Beach and South of Market, the struggle for the subway has actually brought us closer together. And I know we're going to work on those bonds in the future. I'm especially grateful to the generations of Chinatown leaders who fought for this. It was a true multi-generational effort. So I really need to acknowledge Gordon Chin and Norman Fong from my Chinatown Community Development Center. I need to acknowledge Baoyan Chan from the Community Tenants Association, Phil Chin, Landy Dong, Will Din, Harvey Louie from Chinatown Trip, those from the Chinese Chamber of Commerce, and Donald Liu, the president's here today. I don't know where you are, Donald, but he's the guy that looks good in the back. And the Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association. But if I have one regret today, it's that one community leader who inspired and unified Chinatown to fight for this project isn't around today to enjoy this moment. And I'm of course talking about Rose Pack. Rose, it's finally here, and I swear when I woke up this morning, I could hear your infectious laughter all the way from heaven. So Rose, thank you very much on behalf of Chinatown and on behalf of San Francisco. We love you, we miss you, this one's for you. I was supposed to introduce to Sing. I had some words there talking about how our communities have been connected, and the Central Subway is going to connect them even more, but I guess I'm not doing that. I'm introducing Mr. Brandon Schneider instead from the Warriors. And again, we love your work with you on bringing folks to Chinatown this evening.
Thank you. I guess dim sum it is. So thank you so much. This is such a great day for the Golden State Warriors, for Chase Center, for San Francisco, and for the entire Bay Area. Thank you to Mayor Breed, to Speaker Pelosi for your leadership, and thank you to everybody that's had a hand in getting us here today. From the time we started imagining, designing Chase Center many, many years ago, we knew it was important for it to be a transit-first building, and the Central Subway is a critical part of that. We are obsessed with creating the best possible experience for all of our fans, and obviously getting to and from the building is a big part of that. The Central Subway is going to cut in excess of 20 minutes in travel time for people going to events and at Chase Center. Just awesome. So you think about people coming from all parts of the city. People coming from the East Bay now will be able to take part to the Powell Street station without going above grade. They'll get on the Central Subway, it'll drop them off at their front door. And from day one, we have paid the fare for all of our attendees to be able to ride Beauty. So your event ticket, your game ticket, yeah, clap for that. So your event ticket or your game ticket doubles as your Beauty ticket, so take the train. We view, as with our privately financed arena, we view our investment in the city's transportation ecosystem as being foundational to our overall commitment to San Francisco. And I can't wait to see tonight thousands of fans getting off the Central Subway to watch us beat the Orlando Magic. Thanks again, and now I get to introduce my friend and CEO of the San Francisco Giants, Larry Barrett.
So in baseball parlance, thanks Brandon, in baseball parlance, Madam Speaker is in the on deck circle. I believe she's next, so we'll be brief. Just want to say thank you to everyone involved, Mayor Breed, Speaker Pelosi, Senator Weiner. It's been an incredible journey. For the last 23 years, Muni has been a vital link to Oracle Park. It started as Pacific Bell Park, as you all know. And then for 65 years, Muni has been serving Giants fans. We had, I remember as a child, the old Ballpark Express. Anybody remember the Ballpark Expresses? Yeah. I would go out 19, there you go. Yeah, the mayor was on the Ballpark Express. Which line did you take? I took the 19th Avenue line with my dad. Yeah, and it was, and Muni has been so vital to Giants fans, creating that on any given night we have 40 to 50% of our fans somehow accessing the ballpark through Muni. Going forward, I want to do a quick shout out. Mayor Breed mentioned the Mission area. And later this year, we have a project called Mission Rock is opening. And it will be 500 housing units, of which 40% are affordable below market rate housing for the Mission Bay area. As well as a 7-acre park, as well as Visa quarters, which will be up to 1,000 employees. It'll be a new neighborhood in San Francisco, and we will have, thanks to everybody at MTA, and we've been designing it with them, a Mission Rock stop right at Mission Rock neighborhood, and we're very proud of that. Today is a great day for San Francisco. Congratulations for the village that we are coming together to make today happen. Thank you very much. See you at the ballpark.
And finally, with no further ado, it is my deep honor to introduce somebody whom I consider one of the greatest American heroes of my generation and the savior of the republic. Speaker
see. Sorry. I now work for the mayor.
Thank you very much, Jeff. I said that in compliment on behalf of my colleagues in the Congress who have the courage to fight for all those things. It took no courage for me because San Francisco on the forefront of everything, preserve our democracy, save our planet, to have fairness in our economy, educate our children, especially seniors. You name the subject, San Francisco is in the lead. Thank you, Jeff, for your being the lead in all of this. I was so looking forward to coming here. We were in session until very late last night, late our time, and the time of the East. Get on the plane, come here, and said, this is a family affair, official family affair. Madam Mayor, thank you for your great leadership bringing this to fruition. Senator Weiner, something I know we heard from Phil Ting, but I know somebody had been Haney is here as well, and to our attorney, where is he? Where'd he go? David Chu, and David Chu, so many of you. And then my fair sports friends in our community. Let me just put this in perspective, because the mayor started us at the earthquake. We had an earthquake, it's 1989, right during the World Series games between the San Francisco Giants and Oakland A's. And a decision had to be made. We would get the federal funding right to the floor within 24 hours of the earthquake to understand that we had what we needed. But what did San Francisco want to do with it? Mayor Agnos was mayor. The question is the money that the federal government would put in to repair the Embarcadero or freeway, or would it be used, as the mayor said, to be transformative, to let there be light, just to open up that whole area of our city. And that really began that transformation, as I use that word so rightly. So we've been together for a long time on issues that relate to transit. And I would say to Larry Bill and to Brandon earlier, we were talking sports, and this next day after Martin Luther King Day, government, I'm not going to announce it about the plans, but the Warriors will be in Washington, D.C. at the White House to be honored as the basketball champion. We're all excited. So Mayor is here, and he orchestrated where we went there, and actually Willie Brown, even Gavin, his mayor, just as governor, just Mayor Lee, we love him, we miss him. Now our mayor here. I thought Willie was going to be here, but in any event, I never want to hesitate to not acknowledge Willie Brown. I think Willie Brown was there when talking with our sports leaders there. We're at the outbreak. I think it was raining that day too, and somebody was speaking, and I started cheering. He said, "I'm not finished." I said, "I'm not cheering you. I'm cheering that the Giants have just won the ability to go to the World Series." So that was in, as you can tell, the time of the year in the fall when that happened. But again, unity, connection, community, so all of this connected, and now actually physically connected with all of this. Yeah, $1 billion federally, but it's a model to the country. Understand this, I left the Congress last night, just as we and you speak. So my first public appearance here as the speaker is for this project, which has probably occupied so much of the time of so many of us here. You've heard from some, every piece that was necessary. Because in order to get $1 billion or more, and we want more, we have to show that there's community coming together in support of how we go forward. In other words, when we fight for the money, we have to make sure that dirt will fly, that it will happen. And I talk about dirt flying, I want to acknowledge our friends in labor. I don't know if any of them are here now, but they have been in our different events. Rudy Gonzalez, because they have been very strong advocates for us to get these projects funded and funded. David's been prevailing wage, all of those things. But as has been mentioned, and Scott emphasizes this in his work, but also in his comments. Our president, President Veronica, thank you for representing Venerable Veronica from the Federal Transportation Administration. We've got to be thinking of where we go next. You know, this is wonderful, we celebrate, aren't we all great? This is nice. But with this president, there's more to come, regardless of what has happened in the House in the last few days. There's more to come because it is in the pool already. Buttigieg, Secretary Buttigieg was here in the fall. We celebrated in Chinatown, the beautiful Chinese carved art and the rest, all bringing together all the elements we're talking here. But we have more that we want to see happen here. You mentioned Norman Netta. Norman Netta always taught us, he was the chairman of the Transportation Infrastructure Committee in the Congress when he was there. He always taught us when we were making our pitches for things to think regionally, And we talk about what this means here, but what it means beyond into the San Francisco area to have people come to town and be able to move around in a really important way. But okay, so we have an earthquake, we have an earthquake, pay for putting that back up, taking it down. The decision was made not to put it up on cost fees in Chinatown. And so here it is, all these years they're finally going there. Now I have to say, if we're talking about other stations, I have to say that some people really weren't as enthusiastic about having a station until they saw what was going to be happening in Chinatown. And it was, why can't this just go on and on and on? And that's what we want to happen. But it's about what the president is about. And President Biden, when you talk to him about this, he says, why are you telling this? I know this. This is who I am. I took the train to work every day. I understand about mass transit, its role in protecting the environment, its role in having clean air for our children to breathe, its role in having good paying jobs. 40,000, you say, so many jobs to create this, but also the commerce, creating the jobs that it will engender. And the president also was concerned about the value of unified community. And in our infrastructure bill, now this money didn't come in the infrastructure bill, other money that we're getting, for example, we're getting $400 million for the Golden Gate Bridge. We were supposed to announce that yesterday, but between rain and inclement weather in Congress, we didn't do it yesterday, the money. There's a big, shall we say, incentive for us to keep applying for resources that are there now. And what it's about is bringing people together. And in the infrastructure bill, Veronica knows this also well, there is $60 billion for the purpose of unifying community. The projects will bring communities together, not to bind them. That there will be justice in how the community, as America emphasized over and over again, how the community helps to decide what projects and how and when they will develop. It's about inclusion, it's about diversity, it's about justice, environmental justice, transportation justice, in a whole different way. And that was in the infrastructure bill. There was rescue pads and all of the packages. So we're perfect for this, right? We think community. We think in a way that is of national significance as an example of how to get something done that meets the president's standards, and not only his, ours, but also for our children and their future. And the other part of it that is so important is that it has to address past concerns that people have about. I've been to many communities around the country where something Congress line, we were able to get into the wall. The money that the city put up for that would count against match for this. Now, it's a matter of interpretation. But what it is, because it is a local commitment to mass transit, we wanted that. So it's all connected, whether it's financially, is almost the least of it, although we need money, but also value that it brings to community and the rest. I always say to our folks who are engaged in all of this, our hopes are riding on you, because it is about defined community, it's about creating jobs, about cleaner air, healthier communities for our children, more environmental justice, social justice, economic justice. And nobody does it better than San Francisco to be a model to the country about how to get it done. Aren't you excited to be here? I do want to acknowledge many of the local community people who have gone and someone and more in Chinatown. That's Florence Stagg, who was on my case for a very long time on this, but there are others. I want to acknowledge the patience of the people of Union Square. Karen Flood was sort of the leader of keeping peace in all of that. I wanted to acknowledge her as well. So everybody worked hard to make this happen. We elected officials glory in it, but it would not happen without the people who built it, the people who conceived it, the communities who grew to it, and it would not have happened without all of you. So thank you, and it is cause for celebration.
My name is Jeffrey Tillman, and I am your Director of Transportation. And as such, I have the dubious distinction of working every day to try to keep our trains running on time. And in order to do that today, I'm going to need help from every single one of you. We have a very, very quick ribbon cutting to do, and then we'll be getting on an inaugural train. And this has to be very, very coordinated. So first of all, I need some help from staff and our friends in the media to clear pathways so that we can make it all the way to the fair gates. Secondly, I want to remind you that there may be a bag under your chair. Please do find that, because you'll want to take that with you. There are fun things inside of it. Thirdly, those of you who have been speaking will be given a pair of scissors. You'll be very, very quickly assembling at the fair gates to help us cut the ribbon. Those of you who have a blue name tag, home behind. Unfortunately, there's not enough for everyone to the fair gates. We're going to be taking a really, really quick photo here, and then we'll be going downstairs to get on a train. So, there are staff people who will help you to steer you along. We need to keep the gate moving so that we can join our inaugural train. In the meantime, I want to introduce the Curtis family Keynotes, also known as the Bay Area's first family song, featured on America's Got Talent.
It's going. Hey, see you, man. You're the finish line, barely. For such a size.
There's no way I can turn this.
Yeah, there's something. Try and get a choice spot here. I'll put it. Just make sure you get it. Behind you. Just letting me know. Can I talk or is it?
My phone died.
Maybe guiding me through that door and trying to get them from the reverse.
So.
I'm just gonna exit that way, go through there, and try to get the reverse.
I'm not coming back, so keep the battery. Give it to me next week.
Yeah. Do you think we'd all take a little step back? Back a step? Like, the whole photo would just go back like 24 inches? Because it's more would be great.
Yo. Down in front.
Hey.
There you go.
Please have your cards ready.